Welcome to 3 Steps. This is the last of a 3-part interview with Zan Perrion, and he is the owner of Ars Amorata, and he wrote this beautiful book called The Alabaster Girl. Now, this interview, obviously, as I said before, is the first interview I did for the channel back when we were still figuring it out. So it's still, you can tell, it's clunky. My interview process is a little off, and I talk about myself a lot. It's different than the way we have been doing it lately. But in this one, we talked about confidence, and we got derailed, as I was saying before, and it led to us having a conversation about the best bullshit meter on the planet. And then we move into thriving. And that conversation led to something that he and I have been talking about off camera, which is transcendence and why it's important to being a man. So for him, love and beauty and all of that are the most important things for a man to be an embodied man. And it's the best way to attract women is to live a life of relevance. So that led to the importance of living a life that touches on the sublime. Anyway, so much to cover. Hop on in, and I'll see you on the other side. What does confidence mean to you?
Confidence is not knowing necessarily, because we're all students. We're all trying to understand life.
Yeah.
But confidence is to forgive yourself, realizing that you are a student of life, and any mistake you make, as long as you are sincere. If you talk to a woman and she gets offended at you or rejects you, but you're sincere, you can go home and say, you know what, hey, at least I showed up.
Yeah.
So confidence is knowing that even though you might be nervous, you are at least taking steps to better yourself and to put yourself forward into the world. And the responses of the others is not your concern.
Right.
Well, it's nothing you can do about it is what I mean.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
That's great. That's
yeah.
really good. Yeah, that's. How did you come to that space?
Same thing.
Yeah.
Conversation with women. Wait a minute. You mean this? You said this, and you mean that?
Right. They are the best bullshit meter on the fucking planet. Oh my God! Like when you think you've made a new decision about yourself, and you're walking through the world tall, they just fucking know.
Yeah, and women they interact, or they respond to vibration, as we know, right?
Yeah.
Vibration of your voice, vibration of your eyes, the vibration of the way you move, the way you receive them, the way you everything.
Yeah.
As opposed to what you say, which guys think, oh, I want to learn this script and this opening line, and it means nothing.
Be this way. That's Jack.
It means nothing.
Yeah. What does it mean to thrive to you?
To thrive. Thriving is, wow. If you're not, well, this is a big subject for me, because I think living a life that you would call a thriving life is the only point.
Yeah. If
you're going through the treadmill, and we're all doing these treadmills, which is we do the same relationship over and over again, 3 to 5 years, and we do the same job over and over again. We have these patterns, and thriving to me is trying to step above those treadmills into what I call a sense of transcendence.
Define transcendence.
Yeah, I will. Not very well. It's touching on, there's everyone that's watching this knows a time in their life, or can think of a time in their life. We've been talking about this today, is this way so near and dear to me right now. You can think of a time in your life when you felt on top of the world, like you could do no wrong, like what Maslow, the psychologist, called peak experiences. Right. Right.
Yeah.
And that concept of flow. You're in the zone.
In the zone. Yeah.
And that to me is transcendence. That to me is touching something that is above our earthly existence, above our humdrum, above our routine, above our striving, and it's without something that we're doing necessarily. We're touching on something that is transcendent above us. Right. And
because it's not thought,
and it isn't even. It's not science. It's not thought. It's not. Basically, it's what has driven man forever. It's the romantic notion of living a life of adventure, of being a treasure hunter. Yeah. Of being able to walk into a room and hold your own, and walk up to a woman and say, "Hey, I'm Zan. What's your name?" Yeah. To be able to say that, to be able to hold that frame, without a needy agenda, without trying to tape, without trying to dominate, without trying to be the cool guy in the room.
Right.
They're just that center of gravity.
Yeah.
So transcendence to me is like to try and find the excellence of living a life above the normal life which we're dictated we should have.
Right.
Something like that.
It's easy to get caught up in the rut of doing, the rut of the day-to-day, the rut of the social
And what's the point, right?
Yeah,
what's the point,
exactly.
John? Like, and if we're not living a life that is touching on the sublime, whether it's art or creativity or travel or something, if we're not, then what is attractive in us as men for women? And they need it too, but I'm talking about men, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So if we're not approaching or trying to understand what it is for us to live a life of relevance,
Right.
then what's going to be attractive?
If you could tell somebody without watching in the audience 3 things that they could do. It doesn't have to be on all those topics. It could be on one of those topics, it could be thriving, confidence, masculinity.
Yeah.
3 things that they could do to have a better life. Not a great life, but a better life. What are 3 things they could do right now?
Well,
Make them actionable.
yeah. Stop hoping your past will change.
Yeah, right? Hoping.
I think a big thing is to take responsibility for your own journey, your own path, your own learning, your own discoveries, which includes putting yourself out there. There's this concept, in all cultures of yin and yang, for instance, which is order and chaos. And we live in order. And order is constructed around us. And a type of order we didn't have 300 years ago when guys went into wooden ships.
Right.
We go backpacking across Europe, but it's from ATM to ATM.
Yeah. Totally right.
300 years ago, they went into a wooden ship. There's no medical insurance. They didn't have their savings. They couldn't call mom.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Wherever they landed.
If you had a barber surgeon on, you were lucky.
Exactly. So there's no security in any of that. And we have this constructed order around us, and we're so afraid of any kind of tension or chaos, which is our failing. And so we live in this comfort zone. And I could go on and on, but it's like all the greatest stories in that I understand it are ones from order to chaos.
Yeah.
Apocalypse Now, like all the greatest things are a journey from order, what we know, into what we don't know.
Right.
And if we can't do that, if we can't scare ourselves, if we can't go from this order we're living in and go into some kind of chaos, do our 40 days and 40 nights in the wilderness, we'll never be men.
Yeah.
You cannot have it. You cannot, unless you've done some kind of transformative type of vision quest.
Yeah.
Whatever that is.
Whatever that is, yeah.
You can't, you're just a guy that's, you're just a boy that's playing with a PlayStation but not having fun anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's no traction in you for women to say, wow, there's something about that guy. He's not the tallest, he's not the best looking guy, he's not rich, but there's something about him, his spirit, that I can't stop thinking about.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that was 1 or 3 things.
That's 2. You said the past, and then to
okay.
go to do something.
The third thing is find a mentor like this gentleman.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. Like I did my 30 years of in the trenches, the mustard gas flying over my head.
Yeah.
And I had no help.
Yeah.
So ask for help. That's fantastic,
Yeah.
And if you find a mentor, that's somebody that cares and wants to. Yeah, because when I was young, I didn't have it. I didn't have someone to look up to. Hang around your heroes,
Yeah, that's a good one. Right on. Well, thank you. Appreciate it, man.
You are more than welcome.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.
So thanks for watching. So what do you think? That was the first interview I did for the channel, and that's the conclusion of it all. If you like what you saw, hit the like button. And if you have questions or comments or ideas, or maybe you want to suggest something that we did before that I'm not doing now, leave a comment down below. I'd love to engage with you. Also, help us reach 100 subscribers. Hit the subscription button, and also hit the bell for notifications. And join us in the Facebook group where we have Q&As, and we also help support each other in being better men on the planet. All right, see you next week.